welcome to Boca's Briefcase, where we talk about community and legal topics that are hot topics. And thank you to the Boca Raton Tribune for creating this platform to speak with community members. We have very, very special guests today. And before we do the introductions, I just want to quickly announce that next week, if you are buying or selling a home, we have a panelist in the real estate market talking about what the market's like. And the following week, if you're interested in crime, which is a lot of fun, not crime being fun, but the discussion will be fun on crime. Crime and the law will be the following week, and we have some really special guests on that. So let's not waste any further time and start the introductions with some of the nicest people in our community. We have Gary Hildebrand. He is the incoming president to the Rotary of Boca Raton. So excited. Hello, Gary. We have Charles Bender, who is the chairman and board. You'll tell us the introduction. Board member of Place of Hope, and we have the executive director Gregory Hazel with Boca Helping Hands. So, welcome everyone to today's topic. We know you're all very busy helping the community, so thank you for taking some time to let us know what the community needs. This is a really unusual time if you are a not-for-profit, because usually you have fundraising events, you have people coming out there and donating their time, but things have been closed. So organizations like yours have been really suffering. And I'd like to go around, we will get into details, but to have an introduction so everyone knows a little bit about what your organization does. And we can start with Boca Helping Hands. Tell us, what is Boca Helping Hands? This is a charity. Tell us a little about it.
So Boca Helping Hands has been around for over 21 years. We are a multi-service community organization, and we serve in a number of different areas. We have child hunger programs. We have job training and mentoring programs. We provide access to affordable health care, and we have adult feeding programs. So I guess the way we distinguish ourselves is just in the range of services that we provide. That's
perfect. So, and then we have Place of Hope here, which I'm aware of 2 locations, being in Boca Raton and Palm Beach Gardens. Charles, tell us a little about what is Place of Hope?
Sure. Well, Hilary, thanks for bringing us on today to talk about 3, but 2 really important community organizations. And we do a lot with Boca Helping Hands, and they do a lot with us, and we enjoy our partnership with them as well. We started off as a child welfare organization, which a lot of people know is essentially foster care and taking care of abused and neglected kids. We started May 1st, 2001, and I was here for that. I'm the founding CEO, along with some great board members that have been with me since day one as well. We've just grown from that very day where we started in Palm Beach Gardens at our campus here for very hard to place foster children that don't make it in normal foster homes, and they need a higher level of therapeutic care. We've expanded now into shelter services and post foster care affordable transitional housing, which is a big part of what we do now in Boca Raton. Many people know we took over the Haven campus in Boca about 7 years ago, and so now down there we have one of the largest provisions of affordable transitional housing for people in need to get back up on their feet, homeless families with children, human trafficking survivors, and so forth. Now we serve about 340 children, youth, and homeless families in residential care every day from here to Vero Beach. And we have offices and campuses as well in those various areas. We're dealing with, people who have just really been dealt a bad hand and really need help getting ahead. And so as a community, we're able to provide that in forms of different levels of housing and programmatic supports.
Thank you so much. Thank you so very much. And of course, then we have the Rotary of Boca Raton, which, works with the community and organizations like yours to bring the community to you. So, Gary, what is the Rotary of Boca Raton? Tell us, is this a charity as well, or is this a community organization? Explain to us what the Rotary is.
Well, there's 2 definitions. One is kind of a platform definition, which Rotary is a membership. There's 1.2 million Rotarians. There's 35,000 Rotary clubs throughout the world. They're in every village, every town, every community around the world. And Rotary is an international humanitarian service organization. Rotary members are business and professional leaders who volunteer their expertise, their compassion, their resources, their influence to improve the community at home and abroad. But more important, something that you can't find in black and white on a piece of paper, it's a feeling that you have that both Charles and Gregory, it's something you feel to help. It's a service above self. It's changing lives and building futures. It's just an amazing feeling of men and women helping in their community.
And you brought up the exact topic of what we want to go over today, and people are watching. Some people are not going out yet, and regardless if you're a senior citizen or you're just concerned about your health, a lot of us are still at home or isolated, and or you have children. So the one thing I want to ask is, starting now, what can people do from home that are watching today to still contribute to your organizations? And we'll go around. And I know, Charles, I know you have a matching grant program going on, and I'd like you to mention that. But also, above and beyond that, you know, if people need to donate, I think, clothing, maternity clothes, how can they do these things?
Yeah, Hilary, I think it's really important to note that, you know, we together and that are with you today are serving, you know, some of the neediest people in our communities, and that just doesn't stop along with, you know, the pause we've placed on our society and our community. These people are still in tremendous need, and I'm sure Greg can tell you, like us, we're seeing increased numbers of people coming in and needing residential care, needing support, needing food even from us, and just different things that we can provide. You know, when this all hit and we were forced to kind of shut down a lot of things, a lot of us do community-based fundraising events. For us personally, from here, Northern Broward up to Vero Beach, we've already canceled and sidelined about 6 major events. Well, that's a big part. And there are multiple events that we've run over the years, so we pretty much know what they're going to bring in, hopefully, to our budget.
I remember when we spoke and you said, my calendar is literally empty, where usually it's full every day. Yeah. So that's
absolutely,
that just leads to me that equals suffering to the people that you're helping.
Right. So we created that fund. Like you said, some of our major supporters came together and said, we're going to create this matching challenge fund so that everybody that hears about the need and wants to step up and help financially, when they give, it'll match their dollars. And so we have this fund that's happening right now for all that. But also, even on the side, like you mentioned, food and clothing and things that we have, maternity home for pregnant teenagers. We can use, you know, lightly utilized or even brand new clothing for babies and for the moms and so forth. So there are a lot of ways that people can get engaged today.
And tell us specifically, where can those clothing items be picked up? I think you have a truck if you're in the Palm Beach Gardens area, but if you're outside the Palm Beach Gardens area, I know we have a lot of people watching from Boca Raton. Right. How can they get those items to you? Or maybe people are spring cleaning and they have just great items. I think you also have a thrift shop. How can they get those things to you?
Yeah, if you just go to, the easiest way to tell you is just go to our website, placeofhope.com, and it'll take you right through that process.
Perfect.
And we always try our best to make it as easy as possible, whether that's a drop right at our Boca campus or in this area, or if possible, we'll come and get it as well.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And also, Greg, I know we spoke, and there's just so many different things that Boca Helping Hands does. I can't cover everything, but you spoke with one of the things is that actually 2 things. One, you have people that are out looking for a job, and maybe they, and Place of Hope has this too, and they don't have the maybe family support. They don't have a mentor, and they need simple volunteers to look at a resume, help look at a cover letter. Is that something they can connect with you on and participate in that process with you, even virtually, if they're not comfortable going out yet? Oh, Greg, we lost your sound. Or is that mine? Hello? Charles, can I hear you? I'm testing.
You can hear me, Greg.
That's Greg.
There he is.
Okay,
There he is.
I think I'm back. Right.
I was like, oh no, how do we help?
I know, sorry about that. Yeah, I think both of our job training programs and our job mentoring program, we have virtual versions of those programs. So folks who we expect to be, seeing a larger demand for people needing help in those areas can contact us about either the job training opportunities or job mentoring. So, depending on whether or not you are already equipped and, qualified to participate in the workplace, we can offer both in person as well as online mentoring help. And you mentioned, that would include help with developing or improving a resume, help with interview skills, help with the job search process itself. If you're not qualified, you certainly can look at the career opportunities that we help people to get qualified in. And right now we are offering scholarships for people to attend a number of local accredited vocational schools in 8 career areas in different industries: healthcare and information technology, commercial driving, hospitality, and customer service. So if people want, if coming out of this crisis, people need help in any of those areas, that is certainly something that they can call us about.
Thank you. Well, I hope people watching this will spread the word. And also, if anyone's watching who is running a business, you can reach out, because there's a lot of great people who are getting job training and whatnot through these organizations. And if there's any restaurants watching, I know that both you and I think Place of Hope sometimes coordinates with restaurants just to share a meal with the children and the young adults that are there. So if you are a restaurant and you are watching this, please coordinate, because just even if it's one day, it'd be great to have a meal. Speaking of how to coordinate with everything, I'm going back to Gary, because again, you're sort of the connecting tie with the community to a lot of organizations. How do you do that? Is it, explain to us the process of how the Rotary connects to the organizations and how your group works with them.
Well, technically, we are a public charity, but we go about it a little bit differently. Our headquarters are up in Evanston, Illinois, and they don't have a charity in themselves. It's the 1.5 million clubs around, the 35,000 clubs around the world that raise the money that support their community charities. Now, I know our Rotary Club supports Boca Helping Hands, Place of Hope, and several other major charities in the community. In fact, you won't find 2 better charities in Palm Beach County that are better than Place of Hope and Boca Helping Hands. They're Charity Navigators superstars every year. The Rotary Club of Boca Raton, we're not here asking for donations. We're actually looking for members to join us that have this passion and this heart that want to help the community. So we can go to Boca Helping Hands, stand in the kitchen, serve food, help with the job mentorings, or support the kids in the foster care on their campuses who need that tender, loving touch from Rotarians and other people in the community that do the same thing.
Can people join the Rotary right now? I mean, are you meeting virtually? Is that possible to join even during this time?
There are several Rotary clubs in Boca Raton, and yes, we are like everybody else. Everything was put on hold, so we had to come up with a clever way, and it's called Zoom. And so, yes, people can join the Rotary, and here's their website. It's just basically the Rotary Club of BocaRaton.com, and you just sign on and you can join a Zoom meeting, which is noon every Wednesday, and you get to hook up with some of the most amazing people, of which many volunteer, like I said, at Boca Helping Hand and Place of Hope.
I think that's the best idea, because of course we can relay information in this discussion, But ultimately, if you want to be a contributing member or you get hooked into really helping with your heart, the Rotary will be there and help you guide you to these organizations, and you simply can sign on Zoom and join with them. I did not want to forget, and I didn't mean to cut you off, Mr. Hazel, but I know you're also doing a huge food collection, and that has unfortunately been hurt and is suffering because of the normal community events where you're collecting food. So on Boca Helping Hands website, they have a very simple list of the food items they're looking for. And a lot of us are shopping. If you don't want to just go there and do a drop off, you can send an Instacart. You guys can go on Instacart and you can literally, when you're doing your own shopping, put in their address for your second delivery, pay the $3 or $4 fee, and send them a couple bags of groceries would be fantastic. Just go to their website. They have a list of the groceries, and we will post that address later on the feed here. But again, you can definitely, that's something everyone can do from home. I wanted to go back to Charles for a second. Can you tell us a little about the difference between the two campuses, between Boca and Palm Beach Gardens, and maybe the needs in each campus?
Yeah, we actually have a campus in between those two in West Palm Beach and we have actually two in Palm Beach Gardens. Primarily up here in Palm Beach Gardens on it's called the Paxson campus, named for Bud Paxson. They had the vision along with us to start this, consistent environment for kids in foster care, large sibling groups, other kids that for various reasons bounce around from home to home and create these very negative statistics for kids that are in the foster care system, especially if and when they age out of care. And so this campus here is really for under 18, part of a large sibling group, and hopefully providing some degree of dignity and stability. And in Boca, although when we took it over from the organization that went out of business many years back, we started doing various things based on needs in the system and the community. But now we have followed that 100%, and that's basically for the aged out youth, the homeless, in transition, and families with children, and also human trafficking survivors that need, they're post 18, so they're just transitioning into healthy adulthood, and we help them do that. In fact, I know that currently my people are talking to Greg's people about some referrals from there as well, because that was part when we started to expand and increase the housing supply down there on the Boca campus. We just dedicated and opened a brand new building. Part of the idea was that we were going to partner up even closer with Boca Helping Hands for some of their folks that need affordable transitional housing as well. So that's in process as we speak today.
That's wonderful. And again, for people that are watching, I want everyone to think outside the box a little bit, because you can, really help any of these organizations. We had a guest a couple weeks ago, Gramercy Salon, and they do hair and nails and whatnot, and they participate with Place of Hope. I think doing hair or nails on the young adults, and so that makes it very special. So whatever your business is or your trade, there's so many different ways. You have children, you have people just graduating high school on their own, and then you have young adults entering the community, looking to connect with businesses or mentors or other people. And what I was speaking about with Gary is, what's amazing is a lot of these children and young adults, their biggest priority is to also give back. Is that right, Gary? We're talking about how you were speaking with some people, and they want to give back as well. So
yes, actually, this was a young person from Boca Helping Hands he's from Haiti, and as a job mentor from Boca Helping Hands, you ask them to set a goal and a plan, and his goal and plan was to return to Haiti so he can help kids that did not get the guidance and the help, because he graduated from a university in Haiti, and because somebody that cared came down and let him go to school, and his goal is to go back and give back. So yeah, just pay it forward. It's just amazing what Boca Helping Hands and Place of Hope, what they do with these kids. It's in your heart, and once you get connected, it's hard to step away.
And I believe Rotary is Rotary. What's it best known for? I mean, aren't there some major international projects as well?
Well, actually, the one that's the most overwhelming is we have eradicated polio throughout the world. We have spent over $1 billion over the years. And recently, the Bill Gates Foundation has donated nearly $250 million to eradicate polio. So that's been the number one. But the number 2 and 3 is fresh water. And in the future, Rotary International is planning to spend $2.3 billion to fund hand wash, which is to give fresh water to every citizen in Haiti, which, if you can imagine, fresh water to everybody in the island of Haiti, that's quite an undertaking. And so, yes, that is their goal.
I feel so blessed to be even talking to the three of you right now. I mean, it's just, there's so much goodness in this virtual room. I'd like to go around because I want to make sure that no one has been cut off from something you want to relay to the community. If there's something during this time, and hopefully people will follow up, but if there's any events coming up, if there's something that's relevant right now, let's go around the panel so you can relay that to the community and get your word out. You can start with Gregory.
Sure. Well, you know, in response to the ongoing crisis, what we've seen is a huge demand or a huge increase in the demand for our feeding services. And right now, with the schools closed, our normal feeding program for the schools has been suspended. We used to work with 12 of our local elementary schools to deliver weekend backpacks, but the kids still need help. So we've been collaborating with some of the other child-focused organizations like the Boys and Girls Club, the Achievement Center, to provide the food that we would have normally delivered to school to them, and they're actually working with those kids. So, you know, what we're finding is that, you know, the community is responding to the crisis in a way that is very virtuous. Everybody wants to find a way to help. And so, you know, people sitting at home can do simple things. They can write checks, they can make donations on our websites. As you suggested to them, they can direct food to us. And when they're ready, they can come out and help volunteer. We are expanding the number of places that we feed people. We currently have 3 locations where we distribute groceries here at our site in East Boca, in West Boca, and in Boynton. And in a couple of weeks, we'll be opening a new site up in Lantana. So we're not as expansive as Charles is in his geography, but you know, but the work that we're doing is touching people all over Palm Beach County.
Oh, it's so important. And I took the quote from you, the kids still need help. I mean, that's very powerful. It's a very powerful statement. Charles, in wrapping up, what do you want to relate to the community right now? What can they do? They're watching right now.
It's very similar for us with kids being home in residential care. We are the de facto family for many of our kids and young people. And so you can imagine, you know, our food budget skyrocketed as well because they weren't at home and so forth. And we've just really seen, similar to Greg, we've seen the financial donations are coming in, thank goodness, right? But also we found just the goodness of people, restaurants, stores, farms, delivering food to us. And I got to tell you about this really one thing great that happened the other day that I think can actually give some people some cool ideas. You know, when your kids are in school, especially in high school, they're supposed to be getting these volunteer hours and so forth. So if you think a lot of that's been tabled, you need that for college, you need it for entrance, for your applications and so forth. And sometimes for the school, it's required as well. I had somebody call the other day and said, hey, you know, we were a part of your meal program for a long time where somebody makes a meal at home, or maybe they buy it, but they bring it here and our families and our foster families can enjoy that together, not having to cook that day and so forth. And they said, you know, could if our children were involved, could they create a meal, you know, with some parental oversight, and then bring it to the campus, and as a result, get some volunteer hours that they need? And I said, yeah, you know what, I should have thought of that. But so that's another, you know, with Greg's organization, our organization, the Rotary, same exact thing. there are things that people can be doing to sow into these young people's lives and these families' lives, but also on the upside for them, feel good, like Gary said, but also at the same time get those hours that they desperately need as well. But a lot of what we're seeing is the same thing, just food and finances, just to keep us moving in the right direction here.
I love that. So of course there's donations, and we've heard from Boca Helping Hands. Of course, they have on their website specific food items that you could literally Instacart or drop over at their place. And we hear Place of Hope, if you want to volunteer or even make a meal for the day, or participate, like partnership with a restaurant or a farm or shopping center. So partnership for actual meals for Place of Hope. And we've got Gary. Gary, how would you like to, with the Boca Raton Rotary, I bet you're going to tell people you want them to just join with you in this mission to just really save the world. Maybe you could come up with a cure for COVID.
Well, we are working on that.
Are you working on that? Because that would be great.
If you eat my cooking, you will have a cure. So,
so I mean, is that in closing? I mean,
yeah. We changed our direction immediately. We have our goal with our Rotary is to give scholarship to first-time generations going to Palm Beach State or FAU. As soon as the pandemic hit, the monies that were going for scholarships, we instantly said we need to call our kids, which are over 40 kids, and see if they're eating and have a place to live. And so we changed directions, and sure enough, some of the kids weren't eating. So we use the funds to feed them. So yes, we are current with what's going on, and we're, as soon as things slow down with, because of the pandemic, we did food drives to take over to Boca Helping Hands. So that's Rotary.
Well, thank you. Thank you very, very much. And literally for anyone watching, oh, and also don't forget, anyone who's been spring cleaning and has, lightly used items, also Place of Hope has their own thrift store, where they sell items as well, and then money goes back to Place of Hope. And they're also looking just for direct donations of children's clothing and maternity clothes. I think I was told not so much toys because of issues with COVID right now, but clothing is a big one. So if you're sitting there and you have clothing spring clean, please think of Place of Hope, children or adult, and I'm sure we could get to Boca Helping Hands if it doesn't go to Place of Hope. So please share this post, everyone. If you're watching it, it continues to run. Share it with your friends. Please make these community leaders known. And thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
And
thank you, Hilary.
Thank you. I wish this could go on for 3 hours just so everyone is aware. But again, thank you so much. And thank you to the Boca Raton Tribune, which again makes this platform available so people can be aware of what's going on in the community. Have a great afternoon. I know you're all very busy and I don't want to take more time. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Great thing you're doing.
No, thank you. Bye-bye, everybody.